Welcome to Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. Today, as promised, I'm going to show you our new place in Bend, Oregon. Let's go. So you can see that it's a huge freaking property. It's 2.3 acres. The house is a ranch style house, 2,400 square feet, and the shop over there is 1,400 square feet. So there's a lot of open land right in the front yard. The house is set way back. I think it's probably about 250 feet from the street. And this neighborhood we're in is super quiet. Like there's no through traffic because the only people that come through here are people that live here. They are visiting, they may be delivering or working for somebody in the neighborhood. So it's super, super quiet. A huge contrast to where my wife and I were living in San Jose, California. My neighborhood there was loud, super loud. Fucking car. And another car. Really love this fucking neighborhood. And you know that if you watch enough of our videos, you've heard all the background noise. Landscaper, garbage truck, guy with loud exhaust, like just tons of unnecessary noise. So it's nice out here. You could hear like the birds chirping. Fuck, I hate this fucking neighborhood. Another fucking car. It's pretty nice. So we'll go up to the house first. I'll show you the garages. We're not gonna walk inside the house because that would be a little weird, I guess. So you don't need to see where we sleep and everything. And my wife, Allison, is the camera person right now, camera woman. So the way I understand it, the house came with a basic 2-car garage, and then they added an additional garage that they use as some sort of like workroom, hobby room. This original garage is just gonna be where we park a couple of the 4Runners. And then this other garage I'll show you is gonna turn into like a workout studio, so we don't have to get a gym membership, and it's a place where I'm gonna store all my bicycles. So I'll show you that. The 85 I drove back from California a couple days ago. That was a long day. Got up at 3:15 in the morning, flew out of the Redmond airport. It's a tiny little airport, real easy to get in and out of. Got to San Jose about 9 a.m., went to breakfast with my buddy Vincent, visited my mom, and then got on the road at 12:30 and got back to Bend, Oregon at 10 o'clock at night. So it was a super long day, but all my 4Runners are now in Bend, Oregon. So again, this is where I'm gonna store my bicycles, work on the bicycles, and then on this side of the garage, I'm gonna put exercise equipment and weights. I'm most likely gonna go with the Rogue company, but if you have suggestions on a workout company, make a mention in the comments and maybe I'll go the way you're suggesting. But I'm familiar with the Rogue fitness stuff because we have that at the fire department. And so it seems like pretty good stuff. It's kind of pricey, but I'm gonna put the rubber matting down on all the floor here, and then this big exercise machine that has like a squat rack. You could do bench press. It has cables where you can do lat pull downs. It's seated rows. That's gonna go right about here. There'll be rack where you can put dumbbells, and then, yeah. So that's the plan with this additional garage. And it's nice because they set it up with a mini split, so there's heating and cooling in here, so it can be really comfortable when you're in here working out. So now let's show the coup de grace of this property, and this is the shop. Now, what you need to know about this shop is it currently doesn't have electrical ran to it. It's currently not insulated, doesn't have any sheetrock in it. There's no heating source. There's no lights. So that's where I'm going to be putting a lot of money into this property. I just found out from the Central Electric Company that I can run power to this, but they'll most likely have to put a bigger transformer out at the street. All the power runs underneath, so it's kind of nice there's no overhead power lines. But I'll have to trench all the way from the street all the way to the shop. And because I'm gonna most likely need a bigger transformer to provide a separate service to the shop, that has been estimated at somewhere around $7,000 or $8,000. And that's not even running all the electrical inside the shop. So I think I'm gonna be spending quite a bit of money on running electrical, insulating it, sheetrocking it, getting a heat source, which I'll most likely try to get a separate propane tank for the shop because there is one at the house, but I don't want to have to try to plumb propane over from the house. So maybe get a separate propane tank just for the shop so I could have those big powerful heat lamps that you attach from the ceiling and they heat the space pretty quick, I hope. So let's go into the shop. This neighborhood is so quiet and so safe. I probably don't even have to lock the shop, but I'm still like traumatized from my California Bay Area experience where if you didn't lock shit down, it was going to get stolen, at least in my neighborhood. So here we go. To operate the big roll-up door, there's an extension cord running all the way from the house, so I can open that up. So this is currently the maximum amount of light that I'm going to get in this shop. It's a little cloudy out right now. Maybe it'll be a little more lit, but since there's no electrical, no lights, it's kind of dark in here. But you can see this tall side is really freaking tall. I know once I get a 2-post lift in here, I'm going to be able to stand fully upright underneath any vehicle I'm working on, which is going to be awesome. No more sliding around on my back and getting a core workout, lifting my head up trying to see what I'm doing. I'll be able to be really comfortable. You got the roll-up door in the way here, but then when you look up here, you can see how tall the bottom of the rafters are. And I'm estimating those are a minimum like probably 16 feet. So that's going to be plenty tall to be able to lift the vehicle up high enough to where I could stand fully upright. So again, this space is supposedly 1,400 square feet. I haven't measured it with a tape measure or anything, but that's what the listing said. And it seems like it's about that, but then again, it might be a little bit off. I'm not 100% sure this is a full 1,400 square feet, but you can see it's a pretty big space. And then it has the short side over here, and this is where I'm probably gonna put a bigger bench, build a bigger bench, and then put some shelving in on this side so I can store a bunch of stuff and get it off the ground. And then I just gotta figure out the layout. And this is where you, the fan of the Timmy the Toolman channel, might be able to help me out. If you have ideas of how I can set up this shop to optimize it, please comment and let me know your ideas. But like I said, on this short side over here, I'm probably gonna build a bigger workbench, and then up high, I'm gonna build shelves so they're not impeding on the ground floor space, so I can add some equipment like maybe I want a drill press or a bandsaw or whatever. I'm gonna not be taking away floor space for shelving basically. So I have a lot of ability to build shelves up higher and then still be able to put stuff underneath. So that's kind of my plan. And this area, that's the trusses for the low side. I don't know if I want to try to make this to where I can store stuff in there, but it would have to probably be re-engineered a little bit to where you could really get up in there because the trusses are all in there. So I don't know about that, but at the very least, this is a big, big upgrade from where I was in San Jose with just a basic 2-car garage. This space is going to offer me tons of room, and I don't think I'll run out of space, but you know how it goes. If you buy enough toys and enough stuff, you will run out of space. But I think this is going to be plenty for me, and I'll be able to make videos in this garage, and it's going to be so much nicer. You're not going to have all that background noise. I'm going to get tons of lighting, so the lighting is going to be really good. And so I think this is going to be a great space to make some DIY videos to help out my fellow Toyota, Lexus, SUV and truck enthusiasts. I've already met 3 guys in Bend that watched the channel and turn wrenches, so I'm starting to already develop a network of people that I can maybe partner with. There's a few other people in Oregon that are kind of in that 2-hour radius that have contacted me, so it's looking good. And so hopefully I'm going to be able to meet plenty of people to create new content for the channel here in Bend, Oregon. Now that you've seen the shop, let me show you a little bit more of the property, because the property goes further back behind the house. It's pretty cool. On the back area, there's a deck, there's a little water feature, and then my wife Allison and I have some plans of where we can make like a little sitting area with a gas fireplace, because they do recommend not having regular fire pits because of the fire danger. So I'll probably get some type of propane thing so we could hang out and enjoy nature and drink whiskey and talk about sick mods. So let's show you the rest of the property. So all this out here is basically our property. A pretty big section of the back of the property is fenced in. It's got deer fencing, so the deer don't eat your plants. I don't really care if the deer come in and eat the plants. I think the deer are pretty cool. The other day we had 2 big bucks, like, you know, they had big antlers. So they were like probably 4 or 5 year old. And I guess they were brothers, because there was 2 of them hanging out right against the shop. They were sitting in the dirt just chilling. So pretty cool. So let's show you the back of the property here. So right here, we got a bunch of wood that the previous owners left, and we bought a storage shed. It's like 8 foot by 12 foot, and we plan on using that, put it basically right in the same area. And a cool story is, when I bought the shed, I told the young guy that handled the order that I had a YouTube channel, and then he relayed this story to another guy he works with that kind of helps run the business, and he goes, "No way, Timmy the Toolman." And so he used our videos, and he gave me a 25% discount on the shed, which was freaking awesome. So that was really cool of them. So this area is going to have the shed right here, and then we come back here. We got a little fenced in area. I don't know exactly what we'll do with this. My wife is a beekeeper, so we might put beehives back here. And then if you look off over here, our property goes way back there, like to that fencing. There's that lava rock. There's a huge amount of lava rock because there's all these volcanoes that were in the area that exploded who knows how many eons ago. But we're probably going to put that area I'm talking about with like a fire pit probably over there, like in the tree clearing, so pine cones don't drop on our head. So kind of like right in that area where there's a tree clearing. So now we're like on the back of the house, and you can see the decking we have. The previous owners were birders. They liked birds, so there's all these bird feeders. So we filled up the bird feeders with a bunch of bird feed, and we're already starting to see quite a few birds come around. We got a resident, I don't know what kind of squirrel. It's a different type of squirrel. It's about this big, and it's living underneath the deck. We see it bringing pine cones, so there's probably about 500 pine cones underneath the deck right now because of the squirrel. And then got a little grass area back here. There's that squirrel right there. I just saw that little sucker going up the tree right there. But this is the little water feature here. I got the hose in there because I think this thing has obviously got a leak somewhere. I have to add a little bit of water every day to keep the level up.
I see the squirrel in the tree.
Where's the squirrel? Anyways, there's quite a bit of wildlife here. We see chipmunks, that type of squirrel. I don't know the exact name of it. And then deer. But if you look out this way, you know, our property goes further back there, and there's a lot of like brush back there. So I'm gonna have to get out there with a chainsaw and thin it out, because if a fire came from this direction, it would gain a lot of steam. So I need to thin out the brush down below us. But there it is there. This is our Shangri-La in Bend, Oregon. I think we scored, because I think if this property went on the market, I think there would have been competitive bids and we might not have got it, but we were just lucky driving through the neighborhood. We saw the sign, but we didn't see it on Zillow. We called the number, talked to the agent, and found out that the house wasn't on the market just yet. And so we went to our agent representing us. We made an offer 50,000 over with a 20,000 earnest money deposit. So if the deal fell through, we'd lose the 20 grand, and it worked out for us. So pretty stoked. So again, this is such a contrast to where we were living in San Jose, because there was just all this freaking noise all the time. It wasn't peaceful. And this freaking place is incredibly peaceful. Like, the neighbors are far away. Every once in a while there's a barking dog, or you hear somebody doing some yard work and running some power equipment. But for the most part, this is a nice existence. The land is going to need some work, so it's not going to be exactly easy, but it's definitely peaceful. So my wife Allison and I think are going to be happy living here for the rest of our days. So there it is there. Let me know what you think of the property, any ideas you have for the shop, any other ideas you have. You know, we were thinking maybe we would try to build some type of tree house because we got freaking tons of trees. And so something of that nature. But if you have any cool ideas, please share them with me. With all that said, we thank you for watching Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. We will, of course, be back with more videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We are soon going to get our silver plaque for hitting 100,000 subscribers. We hit that about a week and a half ago. So we are now somebody. We have made it. And now it's going to be hard for Sean and I to go out in public because people are going to be bugging us for a freaking autograph. So I don't know what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to put disguises on. Maybe one of those funny noses and mustaches or something. Just kidding. But we have been noticed in public before in kind of weird situations. The weirdest spot I was noticed was up on a mesa outside of Hurricane, Utah. I was filming with my phone, talking while I was filming, and then some guy mountain biking with his girlfriend said, "Hey, are you Timmy the Tool Man?" And I go, "Yeah, actually I am. How the hell did you know it was me?" And the guy recognized my voice because he watched a bunch of the videos. So that was the strangest area that I've ever been noticed. I've been seen on the roadway because I got the Timmy the Tool Man sticker on my trucks. And so, but anyways, there it is there. I will be back with updates on the shop build. Hopefully running the electrical from the road to the shop isn't going to cost me too much, but I'm prepared for the worst, and it's going to be maybe like about 7 or 8 grand just to get power ran to the shop. So luckily we made some money on the San Jose house, so I have some money available to spend, which is nice. So I blah-blahed enough. You will see me very soon sharing some updates of the remodel of the shop to make it a badass place to create some DIY videos and to hang out. Bye-bye.